What's going on, everybody? This is JVB, and you're listening to a New York Giants edition of the Post Game Report. So, the New York Giants right now are in shambles. They are 2-7 or 2-8. I don't even remember. They lost to what was supposed to be the worst team in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers. They lost in Germany. Everybody watched that freaking debacle. Daniel Jones, for the talents that he has been a bad quarterback, especially this season. There has been many wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. They've been open for big yardage, and Daniel Jones just cannot see them. And that's just as bad as throwing an interception or taking a sack. You have the opportunity to get a huge gain against an NFL defense. Those things don't happen very often. And when those plays are designed and your quarterback doesn't see it, then something is wrong. I've had given Daniel Jones support in the past because he is a New York Giant. He is the starting quarterback of my favorite football team. Plain and simple. But I definitely early this year saw that it was time to move on, and they haven't. It seems like during the bye, Giants, management, right, Dable and Shane, it seems like they're going to make that decision. I'm hoping they do. And it's to the point where if the Giants keep losing, they have a better chance of drafting one of the top quarterbacks in his upcoming draft. Either it's Sanders or Ward. I'm not too knowledgeable on the college quarterbacks. I do know that Deion Sanders' son is a quarterback for Colorado, and from what I've seen of him, he is a leader. He seems like one of those types of leaders, like his dad, that is going to say it when it needs to be said, and he doesn't care who he says it to. And he will go out there and back it up. Am I saying he's the next coming of, let's say, Patrick Mahomes? I'm not saying that. But he looks like a good leader. And that's a good start for any prospect coming out of college. Daniel Jones is not that type of leader. Eli Manning, he was very quiet, but he was a leader because he performed in the most crucial moments when the stacks, when the odds was against them, and they were down in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go, and they're down by 5 points. I felt comfortable that Eli Manning was going to take the New York Giants down and score. Not kick a fucking field goal. I knew with Eli Manning at quarterback that the New York Giants were in any freaking game. Eli Manning could play like shit for 3 quarters, and suddenly the man is playing with his hair on fire. He can't miss any pass. That's another type of leader. And we were so spoiled with Eli Manning. I hope a lot of people realize that. We had Eli Manning for so long. He didn't get hurt. The only way he was out of a game is when they fucking benched him. The man was there for us. And I'm hoping he gets into the Hall of Fame because now we see the value, how valuable Eli Manning was. And how crucial the quarterback position is. When Daniel Jones was drafted, my wife told me to shut up and stop complaining because immediately when they called his name, I got mad. I said, what the fuck is going on? Why would they do that when you have a pass rusher sitting there? And my wife was like, babe, the season didn't even start and you're already complaining about them. So I stood quiet. I said, you know what? You're right. Let's see what we got in this kid. The general manager and the scouts, this is their job. They get paid to do this. They should know more football than me. But there was Josh Allen, a legitimate pass rush specialist. And at the time, the New York Giants needed a pass rush. We still had Eli Manning. So the Giants could have waited another year with Eli Manning. So anyway, fast forward to today, and Josh Allen, the defensive end for the Jaguars, he's having a good career. He's a force to be reckoned with. Whereas Daniel Jones, he's the butt of all the NFL jokes. And it's embarrassing that we have a kid like Malik Neighbors getting wide open. Robinson, you have freaking Slayton getting killed when catching passes. This is not good football, obviously. And what's going to happen is that football players are human beings. They're very emotional. And when all that effort is going for nothing because of one player, that will cause rift. And I would hate to see that with the New York Giants because we've been there before and nothing good comes out of it. Now, I've seen people on social media, on YouTube, on the New York media, people in Twitter spaces, they've been talking about firing Brian Daboll or Joe Shane. I wouldn't go that far. Even though when it comes to the coaching, and in this case Brian Daboll, there are times when I'm wondering, what the hell is he doing? Why is he calling certain plays? So it has to be that his quarterback is incapable of performing these plays. And maybe he's checking out of them. Who the hell knows? But what's the answer? Do we wait and see if Brian Daboll can do something with DeVito? I forgot the damn other guy's name, the backup to Daniel Jones. I'm sure Andrew Luck. I mean, not Andrew Luck. I wish we had fucking Andrew Luck. So, no, it's not Andrew Luck sitting on the bench behind Daniel Jones. I forgot his fucking name. That's what happens when you have a brain injury. But, yeah. So, what are the other options, right? You have I almost called him Danny DeVito. You have DeVito, and last season, he won us some games. He actually made the season exciting for the New York Giants fans. People were doing the sign, the signal with the fingers put together, shaking the hand, buying chicken parm sandwiches with vodka sauce. It was fun while it lasted. But because of that, we lost the backup quarterback last season, Taylor. Which, had he been around this season, he probably would have been starting week 3 or maybe week 4. Tyrod Taylor would have been starting already, and maybe the Giants would have won more games. But because of Tommy DeVito and his winning streak, Tyrod said, fuck this shit. I'm leaving. So what do we do? Do we hope that the New York Giants start winning games with DeVito and the other guy that we have? No disrespect to him. Do we do we go that route? Do we hope that the New York Giants win? I hate to be one of those fans that cheers for them to lose. I can't. I've tried it, and it's hard. It is very difficult to sit there and cheer for them to lose. But at this point, let's say they go on a 7-game, 6-game winning streak. What is it going to do? Nothing. They're not going to get in the playoffs. They're not going to win the NFC East. All they would do is damage their draft status and their opportunity to select the best quarterback in the draft. Let's say the Jacksonville Jaguars remain the number 1 pick. They have a quarterback. So they're not going to draft one unless a team gives them a lot of trade assets to move up to number 1, and that could happen. So, as it stands, the New York Giants could possibly get themselves the best quarterback in this draft. And then there's the opportunity or the situation, that is, that the New York Giants go on a winning streak. Drew Lock, that's his name, the backup quarterback for the New York Giants. So, let's say Lock or DeVito go on a winning streak. Now we have to deal with, do the Giants trade up? Do they give up assets that they cannot afford to give up because they're bad in a lot of spots? I wouldn't want that to happen. I would rather have that the New York Giants lose but play competitive, fun football that we can watch and say, you know what, there is hope for the future. Not go out and lose to the freaking Carolina Panthers. No. The Carolina Panthers, they ran all over the freaking Giants. You know, they were running all over the damn defense. Granted, in the second half, the defense, they tightened up. But by then, you're already tired because the offense isn't moving, and then you have your opponent running on you. That's going to wear out your defense, especially the front seven. And speaking of the front seven, we have Dexter Lawrence, who is an amazing player. And that's it. I'm talking about the front line. The Giants let Ashawn Robinson go, and he made a huge play that won them the game for the Carolina Panthers. I don't know why they didn't keep Ashawn Robinson. It is baffling to me that they let him go. He was a great pickup last season. He played well. Imagine him and Dexter Lawrence together. That defense, that run defense particularly, would have been solid. So, as far as pass rushing, the New York Giants are one of the top teams. Brian Burns has been everything as advertised. Ojulari, he has stepped up. He has gotten 5-6 sacks or something like that so far. But he was shut out against the Carolina Panthers. Hopefully Thibodeau comes back and they have themselves a solid 3-man rotation, or they find a way to put all 3 of those guys together with Dexter Lawrence and on passing downs. But the problem is, since teams can run on the New York Giants, teams don't really have to be sitting back there on, with a 3rd and 15 situation where Thibodeau, Burns, Ojulari, and Dexter Lawrence, where they can just let loose and rush the passer. They don't find themselves in those situations often because the offense is pure shit right now. Tyrone Tracy has been An absolute find. And that's why when people get mad, now I'm one of those people who wanted the New York Giants to sign Saquon Barkley and tag Daniel Jones. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And now you see Saquon Barkley doing rookie Saquon Barkley things with the Eagles out of all freaking teams. He did this spinning butt move. He jumped over someone with his back facing the tackler. Jumped over a tackler. That was like shit you would see in NBA Blitz. NFL Blitz. It was unbelievable. So, and I'm trying to look up the freaking depth chart for the New York Giants because I just can't sit here and start throwing names and not be accurate. So Drew Lock. Yeah, okay. That was correct. Anyway. The Giants they have problems offensively at quarterback. The offensive line has been better. The running game with Tyrone Tracy. As I was saying before I got distracted, people have been bringing up Saquon Barkley. But let's not discount what Tyrone Tracy has done for the New York Giants. The kid has been dynamic. He runs decisive. He almost reminds me of Curtis Martin. Where Curtis Martin, now I'm not saying he's going to have the same career, but Curtis Martin didn't look particularly fast, but he was never tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He was never wasting movements. And that's how Tracy runs. He doesn't waste movements, and he doesn't look fast, but somehow, before you know it, he's running 10 yards down the field, and you're like, what? And he was a wide receiver in college for most of his career. He played one season as a running back. And this kid has the instinct of a veteran NFL running back. That is incredible. You got to give that kid a lot of freaking credit. You put more pieces on that offensive line, and Tracy could be one of the better running backs in the league. I'm not going to say the best, but one of the better. Because he can obviously catch the ball because he was a wide receiver. And in his rookie season, he is showing instincts that take other running backs a little bit of time, especially rookie running backs. He's showing those instincts immediately, breaking tackles, breaking long runs. He has been, for the last 3 weeks or so, the one carrying the freaking offense. So hopefully with either Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito, neighbors can get involved a lot more. Tyrone Tracy, he's a legitimate running back, a legitimate threat. Teams are going to have to focus on him. And then you got Singletary, who is a very shifty running back, a true veteran running back. So the Giants get a nice running game. The offensive line, they're not big brawlers, but they will do these combo blocks and get to where they got to go. And the running backs, Tracy and Singletary, they are shifty enough to get through the hole or find a hole in the, I know some people are going to get turned on when I say this, but they can find a hole in the backside. So, yeah, the Giants have an established running game. Their tight end, their rookie tight end, Theo Johnson, he's been stepping it up. He's been making an impact as a blocker, as a receiver. So you have a rookie running back contributing. A rookie tight end making contributions. He's on the upswing. And then you have Malik Neighbors, who leads I believe he's the top rookie receiver in yards. He's a legitimate threat. So you have three key components that are rookies, and they are making legitimate impacts with bad quarterback play. And then you have the offensive line, and Evan Neal looked great against the Carolina Panthers, against Jadeveon Clowney. So there's hope for him. The one thing that is keeping this offense back is the most important position, and that is the quarterback. That is Daniel Jones. And on defense, they have moments where they are dominating. But as soon as the offense goes 3 and out, and they get a few 3 and outs from the offense, they begin to wear out, because Dexter Lawrence can only do so much by himself when he's double teamed the entire time. Bobby Okereke cannot take on blocks from opposing guards all the time. He is not going to win that. Neither is McFadden. And then you have a young secondary, Tyler Nubin and Drew Phillips. Those two kids, once again, just like on the offense, the Giants got 2 freaking secondary pieces, rookie pieces that are playing way better than we expected them to play, especially Drew Phillips. That kid can tackle. He's aggressive. He takes no shit. Neither does Tyler Nubin. Unfortunately, we have Belton playing like crap against the Panthers. Banks, I don't know what the hell happened to him. Banks last season as a rookie showed so much promise, and I don't know, it has to be mental with Banks, because he is talented. And the crazy thing about Banks, the cornerback for the New York Giants, he's built like a freaking safety, but he approaches running backs and receivers like a freaking ballerina. Like he doesn't want to get dirty and tackle like he did last season. It's crazy. He has it in him. But there's something mentally that's causing him to just bail out on his physical nature. I don't get it. And that's dangerous, because can you get that kid to be his rookie self again? He's been beat. He's been beat by some really great receivers: Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. Trying to think of the other. There was another wide receiver, the same route in the end zone. Same exact route where he's been beaten 2 other times by great receivers, right? Like some of the best in the league. So it's not like he's losing to lesser talent. These are wide receivers that would beat any freaking cornerback. So maybe that is bothering him. Maybe that has gotten to him, and he hasn't been able to recover. But something needs to be done. Either play Tyler Nubin, put him as a starting cornerback. At least you know you're going to get the effort. At least you know with Nubin, I mean, not Tyler Nubin, excuse me. Scratch that. Drew Phillips. Put Drew Phillips to replace Banks, because you will get the effort. You will get the physicality. And that's half of the issue. He can cover, but he's still a rookie, so he's going to get beat. On the other side, you have Adoree Jackson. And see what happens. See what happens. You're 2-8, 2-7 or whatever. See what happens. Start Drew Phillips over Tay Banks and see what you have. And as far as the defensive line, giving Dexter Lawrence some help, you know, uh, it's too late for that, right? They can't sign anybody from the streets. They can't trade for anybody. So we're going to have to deal with the same type of poor run defense. Maybe Watt can go in there and play the run a little better than the other two, Davidson and what do you call him? Taco? I don't know. Number 93, who's not bad against the run, but yeah, DJ Davison, I had high hopes for him last season. He actually showed promise, and then maybe it's the difference in defensive schemes, but he showed promise last season, and this year he's been really bad against the run. So the Giants are in trouble, no matter how you look at it. You just can't one day wake up, replace the starting quarterback, and all of a sudden, everybody's going to play better. Talent eventually levels everything out. And the New York Giants, on defense, they cannot stop the run, no matter who is in there. Even with Dexter Lawrence, they run away from him. And now you get big chunks of yardage because either the linebackers are getting swallowed up, no pun intended, by offensive guards, and you have your safeties taking the wrong angle, or the cornerback, like Banks, not giving a great effort. So all those things are hard to overcome. So the offense is going to have to score freaking points. And obviously, either Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito are going to have to do that for the New York Giants. Give the weapons, Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors, and Theo Johnson. Give them kids a chance to score. You have Slater, who is an underrated wide receiver. Robinson. He has issues with his freaking hands, but he's tough. He can run after the catch. He's tough. He's a tough kid. The Giants have some fucking weapons. And the obvious is in the forefront. There's no one there to take advantage of these weapons. And that's the quarterback, Daniel Jones. He needs to go. Plain and simple. So anyway, it's a bye week. I'm not going to do any episodes next week. The Giants have been playing like crap. And there are some bright spots, once again. On offense, Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors. On defense, Nubin, Phillips. Of course, Dexter Lawrence is a beast. Brian Burns, he's a legitimate pass rusher. Ojolari, he's back. And it's great to see that he's healthy and he's performing the way we expected him to perform. He's going to be a free agent next year. So maybe he decides, you know what? My ass is out of here. I'm going to get paid somewhere else and go somewhere else that's going to win. So let's see. With a bad quarterback, with the way they've been so hesitant to bench Daniel Jones, there are effects, trickling effects, that go to every player on the offense and the defense. And maybe they're going to blame Daboll for taking too long to bench Daniel Jones. And at the end of the season, regardless of how they play, they might decide, you know what, I'm a free agent, I'm out. Hopefully that's not the case. Let's see. Hopefully players want to come back to New York and play for the Giants and help the New York Giants win. Because if you win in New York City, if the Giants win a Super Bowl next season, I'm not saying they will, but any free agents who joined the New York Giants while they won that Super Bowl, or any draft picks, they will be remembered forever. They will never have to pay for another freaking chicken parm sandwich as long as they live. That's just the way it is. That's just the way we treat our heroes, our winners in New York City. But we also give you shit when you deserve it. So, unfortunately, the Yankees choked in the World Series. The Knicks look good. So we're hoping that the New York Knicks can deliver this season. Let's hope. It's been 52 years for the Knicks. It's time that they win something. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. You guys take care. Talk to you soon.
He'll try to run this one in. Trying to fight his way into the end zone, but they will mark him short. Down at the 1. Now, 2nd and goal. Throwing Jones. And this is a touchdown. They were not going to be denied, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute of play. Greg, I love the precision on that play. Very little time, very confined space, and they come through with the touchdown.
And it's the accuracy of the throw, Mike, that protects his receiver. Everything down here near the goal line is so condensed. You understand you're going to be thrown into tight windows, but when you trust your quarterback to protect you with the ball placement, it gives you a lot more confidence going across the middle of the field, and in this case, pays off for a touchdown.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. Irving now on the return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read, seemingly every time. They'll come up for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. He'll air one out for Palmer. And that would be the dagger. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Pinna.
When you find yourself in this situation, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.